station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Welcome to INCRadio, South Central State Satellite Studio. I am your host today, Sister Pam Pitcher, live from the locale of Blue Ridge, Texas. I am joined by my co-host, Brother Nathan Russell. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am co-hosting today, Brother Nathan Russell from Fort Worth, Texas. Chilly morning, but it is nice and sunny out. So put on a jacket and go check out the really nice day we have today. Back to you, Sister Pam.
Absolutely. And I'm also joined by our lovely panelists from OKC. Please, sister, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm back again, Sister Pam. What a pleasure to be on here. It is 25 degrees here in Oklahoma City. It is sunny. I don't get it, but I'm having a good morning.
That's awesome. And today's topic, we are going to discuss safety, staying safe on social media. So, Brother Nathan, please post our question of the day, which is what do you use social media for? But before we get to that, we'd like to promote our upcoming activities today. We have a SCAN leadership seminar for the District of South Central States at 3 p.m. Central Time. And we have a CMDPS wellness check at 5 p.m. Central Time. So let's get back to our question of the day. So, Sister Charmaine, what do you use social media for?
So I use social media as I think any kind of other normal person, just for community, for reaching out to certain types of people, to kind of put a little bit of my personality out there. I think some people use it as a way to express themselves. I think I'm one of those people, just a little bit less than I think some people do. I post my drawings on there sometimes, so I use Instagram a lot. I think that's my main one. But there may also be times where I go on Discord and I have certain communities that I go on there for. I go onto YouTube, which isn't really a social media, but also you kind of feel like you're part of a community in certain ways, like in the
Right.
comment section and everything. And so I I use it to feel like there's kind of a place where I belong outside of just real place, real world people, which is a little cathartic.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, whenever it's like, oh, we have a lot of things in common and we think that we're friends, but we also don't see like the daily minutia of each other. So we're also a little bit of strangers. I don't know, that separation sometimes is a little bit comforting while also something to be careful for.
Right. So, what were the first social media apps you used from the very first time, right? Because there's
Wow.
a lot of them out there.
I had to so I was a good girl. So I asked my dad for permission to get a Facebook and a Snapchat. First of all, I asked his permission to get an email address.
Yes, you do need an email address to get to social media, right?
So I had that. I will not say my email address. It was very embarrassing. But I got a Facebook and I got a Snapchat. I didn't really like Snapchat. I didn't end up appreciating it really.
How
Um,
come?
I think the platform on there I think works for a lot of people. I'll make that clear. For me, not really, just because it seems very fast paced. It whenever I was on it, it was whenever streaks were trending. So you would send people just like constant snaps to each other to keep this number up. Um, it didn't really encourage like communication though. It just encouraged a lot of like blank screens uh, so you could just have the number. And I was like, I don't get this. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. And there was really nothing for me on Snapchat, so I ended up deleting it. Facebook I liked because I I connected a lot with my families. It helps you remember birthdays. I connected a lot with my high school group there, so we would still contact each other like on Messenger, like to this day, which is really really nice. Unfortunately, I lost my Facebook and I lost my Messenger, so that was really sad. Um,
Oh, how'd you lose it? Did you get hacked or
I
something?
did get hacked. Yes.
Oh,
It was very unfortunate. It came out of nowhere as well. I thought I was being secure, but it just goes to show that unfortunately for people like me with terrible memory, you still have to update your password. Um
yes, you
every
do.
month. I think that is one of the number one things to be safe. Um update your passwords, and then you have to not befriend everyone that comes across your social platform.
That
I also had to delete an Instagram because of that, because whenever we go to like KMGs and a lot of online meetings, you meet a lot of different people, and you add a lot of people that you don't really like talk to on the daily. And so a brother messaged me asking for a favor, and I did it without really knowing who he was, and it was a hack. So
That is
lesson
unfortunate. Yeah, that is lesson learned. That is one way to stay safe on social media is
learned.
routinely changing your passwords, checking your settings, making sure that your privacy is where it needs to be. Because, the one good thing about social media, it is connecting all of us. People, I think people who migrated to the States or other countries are able to still connect to their home base, through social media. Social media kind of made us all the world's smaller and you can connect with a lot of people. But then when you do get hacked, that's when a lot of things happen. And then sometimes it could be people that but their accounts got hacked, and they send you a message and you click on it, and the next thing somebody has all your information and stolen your identity. So our message to our viewers today is just making sure that you are checking your privacy settings, your security settings, and checking and changing those passwords.
It really
So
Yeah, it really sucks. After it though, I feel like if you choose to make a new account on the social platform, it is then just like, a silver lining is that you get to kind of reevaluate about who are the people that you want to follow, like who are the people that you like really trust and who you still want to befriend. And I
mhm.
think that it's just a nice it's a very unfortunate way of like keeping house and cleaning up your contacts.
Right? Do you find yourself going through your friends list and like saying, I don't really remember this person anymore?
No, yeah, exactly.
Unfollow?
It would just be a lot of that of just like, yeah, I'll just follow whoever. And then like whenever I got hacked, it was just like, okay, do I really know this person? Yes, I know them. We see each other, follow. Do I really know this person? No, not really. I don't have the energy to add you again. And so he was left off. Or like it would just be like that. It would also just there was a brother who messaged me. There was a brother and a sister. It was like, did you get hacked out there? Um, or like ate for everyone who's listening is Tagalog for just kind of an older sister figure. And I said, yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'm okay. And they were just like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Let me contact a bunch of just like other brothers and sisters so they can go follow you on this new account. I was like, that is so sweet. And so a lot of people very much cherish this like online space that they
Mhm.
have, and they helped me to again like curate and just add a bunch of other people on there, which made me feel really nice.
Right. No, that's really good. So, how about your brother Nathan? What experience have you had with social media in the past?
Oh, so I know when I started, it was probably like early 2000s. I never wanted to get on social media, but my friends made me do it. I don't regret that though, because one thing that I do appreciate about social media is you do get to catch up with people that you might have lost contact with. Like I had my best friend in Hawaii because we were in base housing at the time, and he was my best friend growing up. We were always hanging out every day, and then of course we went our separate ways. I lost his address, and then just out of the blue, I just thought, maybe I should try to look him up on Facebook. And sure enough, I found him, and we were actually able to reconnect like a few years back. We got breakfast together because we both happened to be in Florida at the same time. So yeah, I mean, just being able to keep track of friends or friends you might have lost contact with. So yeah, there's a good chance that if there was someone that you grew up with, they're probably on Facebook. But
Right. Or if you don't
another,
want to, if you don't want to be found, then you don't want to be on any social media at all. Right?
yeah, or
Sometimes
you spell
it's
your
the
name backwards.
Right. Well, I think that was the thing. That was the thing that, in order to like protect yourself, spell your name backwards. And I did not do that because that was, then my name would be Map instead of Pam. So I kind of didn't work that way.
I know people though are again we talked about being like security, physically safe. I also think that you have to keep yourself mentally safe, emotionally safe whenever
That's right.
you're on those social platforms. So take a break. I again, we've talked about our goals for this year to not be on our phone so much. Just having
Right.
that time out, or like maybe even like having those apps that kind of like lock you out of those apps for a little while, just so you could just like breathe and be like, okay, I was really in it for a long time, so let me like stop scrolling, let me touch some grass. Let me do some.
Let me touch some grass.
That's what, okay, that's what a bunch of the kids say these days. I've heard you if you're too into the online world, you gotta touch some grass. I
Right.
my
That just sounds funny.
my sister right now, she's not on like any social media. She's not really like reaching out in any type of way, and so she doesn't really feel the need to like be that active anymore, and it's very nice to see. I'm not 100% in that place yet, but it would just be nice for all of us to just kind of like take a step back, being just like this online persona or this online world is nice. It's not 100% me though. Are like it's not 100% authentic. The things that I'm seeing are not 100% authentic. So
Yeah.
might as well just be in my own world for a little while. Just like keep to myself. Just walk around, breathe some air, and just take that time out for yourself.
And it'll be good to also, social media is great. Absolutely. You connect family, friends all over the world. But it's also good to have those relationships in person, to actually, hey, let's go out, have coffee. Hey, let's go shopping. Hey, to be together and not in a virtual setting, to enhance those relationships, because it is something different, because sometimes social media can present that persona that, hey, everything is good, but it may not be. So we'll take a pause on that for a second. Brother Nathan, what do we have on the comments?
We got a lot, so let's see if I can run through them. We have our sister Leanne from OKC. She's
Woohoo!
greeting us. She greets you, Sister Pam and Sister Charmaine, and she likes to keep in contact with friends and family that are not in the local area.
Those California brethren, I got it.
Hmm. Virginia brethren.
And then we have Sister Kaylin greeting us from Hawaii, saying mahalo and 73. Brother Christian Agron greeting us, of course, from Lubbock. He likes staying connected with family, friends, and brethren. Let's see. Sister Kaylin says she uses social media to communicate with friends and family from around the world. This is where I show, share, and post a part of my life online. And it's where I stay connected with different people. We have Sister Florentina Taylor. Good afternoon, INCRadio. She's greeting us, the hosts from Tulsa Group Worship Service. It's a chilly day, but we're warming up with our activities. And then Brother Justin Talioga of the Texas satellite. He mentioned streaks from Snapchat, and that was the reason why I quit Snapchat. I was like, "What is this? Why am I getting a blank
No, I
picture
don't.
today?"
People may get it. I don't. I'm sorry. I wasn't good at it. I didn't understand the appeal. But good for you if you had a high number.
It's like the likes, right?
No,
The
well, yeah,
likes is
like
it
yeah.
kind of in Facebook, and the Instagram is the hearts, right? And I have to say though, when I first joined Facebook, I felt like when I post something, I become addicted to like looking how many likes I get.
Oh,
Like I
The
want to see, like,
validation.
yeah, like the validation that, okay, that picture didn't quite get that many likes and this picture did. And then I realized that, that's not healthy. You
that's
know,
not really healthy, especially if you express an opinion on
yeah.
social media. You look back to see if they got any engagement or if it got any response to it, and you're kind of just like, wait, that's my opinion though. It shouldn't matter if anyone responded to it or if anyone like even noticed it. That's just for you. You
Right.
it's fine.
Exactly. It's absolutely fine. So with that, let's put that in a segue. I'm going to ask Sister Charmaine for this. What lessons would you give the older generations about using the internet and social media? Because we do have some more tenured, seasoned brethren and friends and loved ones that may be susceptible to hacking and to security risks. What would you give them or advise them?
I think the main thing that I've learned for older generations is that everyone is susceptible to all of the same threats. So you're not exempt if you're like in a different age group. You're not exempt if you like use it more or less, maybe. But you always should have that mindset of you need to be safe. So for a lot of older generations, if you don't want to do the work of you being secure, I would say get a security app so you can notice whenever something of yours is breached. I would also recommend that to just like any age group.
That's
But
a good point.
overall, yeah, just keep your friend section as well. Be careful about the things you follow. I That's an important one that I want to put up to older generations, but also younger generations in very different ways. Older generations, I see they have a lot of opinion pieces, opinion accounts that really like pander to maybe they're a sort of old fashioned, maybe sometimes even harmful opinion, while the younger generation they have other harmful accounts that kind of expose them to a certain way of thinking that is disguised as a new way of thinking. So always be careful about what we've been taught and what we should follow, and have that be your first inclination to follow rather than all of these new accounts that you get. Also for the older generation, you don't have to judge new social media platforms. I feel like that was something that I really struggled with for a long time, like Snapchat and TikTok, of just like what is this new fangled thing. All social media platforms are just a tool. They're just it's You can treat it as a very neutral thing. So as long as you kind of have that opinion and you can pick it up, you can drop it if you don't like it. You shouldn't get too addicted to it, but you also shouldn't hate it. Um, take into account your friends as well. If they're getting too into the weeds, if they're posting something that they shouldn't post, I feel like you're one of the real world people that can call them out and be like, "Listen, I saw what you posted, or I saw what you liked." And I think that we need to have like a little bit of a discussion about it because I'm worried, to try to bring them back into reality, to realize that all of the things that you do on there have a real world consequence. Just being just like, I think we need to take a step back from social media. If you
Right.
don't feel comfortable doing it, I can do it with you and we can
Hmm.
hold ourselves accountable. um, but you don't want to do anything that'll get you in trouble. You don't want to do anything that will harm that mental and emotional health that you've built up, right?
Absolutely. If you really do care for your friends, if you feel that hey, something's wrong, say something, right? Don't let that pass by. But how about you, brother Nathan? What lessons would you give the younger generation about using the internet and social media?
Well, in general, like older or younger, there's this thing called like social engineering, where they may not hack you by like um necessarily like getting in your computer and stuff like that, but they can convince you to give them information. So one thing to be careful of is like, and just as a disclaimer, like we don't sponsor or are we sponsored by any social media platform, so it's kind of up to you which ones you want to use. But like online quizzes, they've noticed some of them, they're notorious for asking you the types of questions you might find on like your authentication. You know, like if you forget your password, they're like, okay, then what was your first make and model of your car? What was the name of your first pet? What's your mom's maiden name? they would ask you stuff like that, and you end up giving it away, and then they're able to reset your password. And then the other one that's been really popular is you would get a link to go somewhere, and when you click it, it looks like you got logged out of, let's say, Facebook. And you're like, oh no, I got logged out. And then you go and type in your login information, and what you were actually on was an outside website that looks exactly like the platform you were just on that logged you out. You put in your username and password, and now they have it. So that one goes way back. I remember I fell for that one in the MySpace days, and then and then
It's
like
I think it's like a phishing type website where it's like a cover. You're actually still on Facebook, but then it's a site that brought you in that looks like it's outside. It's
yep,
it's almost
exactly.
very similar to like those emails that you get that say, "Hey, you want something from PayPal or some sort of place," and the next thing you know, if you look at the email address, it's an this weird character word that will just get your information. Those are very good points, Brother Nathan.
Yeah, and just my advice is like, if something seems off, don't click any links. Go directly to the website. The website's
Yes,
addresses,
absolutely.
and then re-enter your information there. So if it seems like it's weird, it's like, why did I get logged out? Don't log in right away. Go open another window. Go to the official site, and you should be fine.
Absolutely. So let's go to our next question here. So, what are some ways we could use social media for good? Well, for me, I like watching those funny videos. It's social media is really awesome for kind of chilling and relaxing and looking at those funny videos. But Sister Charmaine, what are the some ways you can think of for using social media for good, other than
So
communicating with your friends?
for sure. So social media actually is helping me with my goal right now of just trying to like have more meaningful relationships, having more friendships that I can rely on a daily basis. And so just sending a bunch of just like reels, just like funny videos that I think are are hilarious but also kind of reflect my personality just to people that I follow that I haven't like really talked to before. And so it's been great in just sparking conversation of just like, what did you send me? And I'd be like, a gift. I sent you some funnies.
Wait,
And
is it a gift or a GIF? That's been a debate. How do you
no,
really pronounce that?
I
GIF or
personally
GIF?
I personally say gift, but anything that I send is a gift.
Oh, that is so cool. Well,
Um,
either one is acceptable. GIF or GIF, it's all good.
yeah. It also helps in just like, I don't know, having a social media presence, however small it may be, has really inspired me a lot to just post something creative. I follow a lot of creative Instagram accounts where they just post their art, and it's just been really nice and inspiring to just be like, I want to make something and I want to put it out there. And so it's been really great for that. I've also said just the community of just like, I thought I was the only person who felt like this or who likes this, and then you could just find a bunch of people that makes you just have like a very small temporary sensation of belonging, which I think is
Mhm.
really really cool. But
That's
brother Nathan, I think we know what's the important way and the best way that we can use our social media.
yes, Brother Nathan. What is a good way to use our social media?
Transitioning to me, huh? That was smooth.
Very smooth. You know how we are. We're
Oh
very
man, it's
smooth.
almost like I've been here for 3 weeks straight.
I know, right?
But yeah, just sharing our faith. So make sure that your friends are aware, that you are, a member of the church. That you're different in that way. And what I always say is that we respect our friends, for who they are, and you should expect that your friends respect you for your beliefs also. Otherwise, they're not your friends.
That's so
But
true.
That's right.
I've shared like INC radio with several of my friends, so they've tuned in to listen. So it's kind of introducing them, especially because this is a great way to introduce people to the church.
That's
It
right.
shows us that we could talk about everyday things within of course the context of our membership. But there's so many social media platforms. Like I recently had to put together a meeting for the booklet, which is the married members, about the different platforms and websites, and you could follow on Facebook, Instagram, I don't know if they're on Snapchat. I'm not on Snapchat, so I can't speak for that. But they're everywhere. But one thing that's really nice about following that is you can meet a lot of brethren from around the world. So that's another big plus for social media. So Sister Pam, I think we're nearing the end of today's show.
Absolutely. So, first off, we want to please make sure to check out our social media accounts, social media, of course, on Facebook and Instagram. And also be sure to check INC radio broadcasts throughout the week, such as Faith and Melody and Chatline. I have to say, I want to share, I saw one on Instagram, incmedia.org, The Solution. One of the topics that was shared was body image. And I think everybody would really benefit on hearing the words in regards to the body image. And it's actually especially very important during our times where everything in social media shows you what beautiful should look like. So I that would be my plug for this
Yeah,
session.
yeah, I really need to check that one out.
Yes, please, incmedia.org, The Solution. Very good. And you can also post your questions there. Any questions is safe. And before we wrap up, we want to see if you have any final shout outs. Brother Nathan, we'll start with you.
Okay, so I'll just quickly go back to the comments since we do have some time. We did get a greeting from the Silvas, so thank you for joining in. Also from Charlotte Grace Peroy, she likes using Facebook and Instagram to share Bible verses of the week.
Mm.
And let's see, Brother Oliver Villanueva, who I believe is from Memphis, we thank you for joining us here today. Mr. D. Perez shouting out to the brethren in Memphis. And he also made a comment, Sister Charmaine, you're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks, Drew.
Yay!
Let's see, who else did I miss? Sister Pam dropped a comment.
Of
where,
course.
why are you
I
here and there?
I'm a multitasking here.
But yeah, I just like to shout out Team Live Chat. Thank you for joining us here today, as always.
Yes. And Sister Charmaine, I give you 10 seconds for your shout out.
Hi, if I've sent you a funny reel or a funny meme in the past few weeks, that kind of just means I want to be your friend. So if you want to talk somewhere outside of the social media platform, I would love to like meet up. Nice to meet
Uh,
you all.
that's awesome. And before we wrap up all, we'd like to thank our district CFO overseer, Brother Christian Agron, Assistant District Minister, Brother Gilbert Anisete, our District Minister, Brother Andre B. Silva, Executive Producer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya, Station Manager, Brother Arnel Solano, and CFO Coordinator and ZEPSI President, Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, and of course, our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Please tune into INC Radio South Central States next Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned for INC Radio Latin America coming up next. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.